Dear students, hope you are all fine. I am sharing another video lecture with you. This is lecture number 15 and the title of this lecture is Writing Skills. In this lecture, I will talk about nature of writing. I will discuss purpose of writing. I will also discuss different types of writing. At the end of this lecture, you will be able to know about writing skills. You will be able to know about nature and purpose of writing. You will also be able to know about different types of writing. First of all, I will talk about writing. That what is writing? Writing is the act or process of producing and recording words in a form that can be read and understood. Dear students, now I will talk about nature of writing. That what is nature of writing? Apparently, writing appears to be a dull or difficult thing. Unlike speaking or listening, it is not an innate or natural skill. As speaking or listening is an inborn skill, writing, on the contrary, is a skill that is not inborn. We need to learn it consciously. As a mode of communication, writing has yet another interesting facet. We start communicating through writing at a later stage of our intellectual development. Unlike speaking and listening, it is more complex tool of communication. The coordination of mental process and physical organs involved in this skill is more elaborate than listening or speaking. Unlike speaking as a tool of communication, writing is not temporary. The written mode of communication, on the contrary, is everlasting. It is permanently available across the barriers of time and space, so we must have to be more specific about subskills that are listed below. The writer should present ideas logically and coherently through organization and structuring of ideas. He should connect ideas in a cohesive manner. He should write effectively to perform the various functions which writing claims to have. So this is all about nature of writing, that whenever you write, this thing is important, that you need to know that what kind of writing you're going to do. Now I will talk about importance and purpose of writing. Writing as a tool of communication serves the following purpose. Writing is a tool of information. As writing is a great means of information, informative writing is based on facts and figures. The object of the writer is to supply information about any topic to the reader. He does not persuade the reader while giving information through writing. He does not use rhetoric style. He is calculated, systematic, and organized in his writings. He is also unbiased. So writing is used as a tool of information. So whenever you share information, so you can use writing as a skill. The second is that the writing as a tool of persuasion. In this type of writing, the writer persuades and convinces the reader to his point of view. He expresses his ideas in a logical manner. He has to convince the reader about a point of view which the reader may not like. That is why he has to remain rational and logical in his writing. He should remain on the path of common sense. So this is also the beauty of writing, that sometimes readers are not going to be convinced. So this is the art of writing, that with the help of writing you can convince your readers. The third importance of writing is that it has wide access. Written communication enjoys a wide access. It is by means of written literature that the writer and the reader living in different cities and countries are connected with one another. Writing skills across the border of culture, race, and language. They connect people by means of book, emails, notices, circulars, etc. So with the help of writing, you can communicate, you can share your material across the globe, across the border, and you can interact with people and you can share your ideas. The fourth important element, the fourth importance of writing is that it is permanent record of a thing. Written communication is a permanent record of a thing, fact, story, or anecdote. It can be consulted in future at any time. It does not betray or mislead anyone. It can be used for future reference. It maintains the record of any firm or organization. So whenever you write something, so it means that you can keep it as a record for future use. Another importance of writing is that writing can be used as a legal evidence. A written message is used as a legal evidence. It is acceptable as a legal document. That is why some executives think that even if some messages have been transmitted orally, they should later be confirmed in writing. The sixth important element or importance of writing or the purpose of writing is effective in decision making. All documents help in effective decision making in a great way. the decision making process becomes easier if old records are available. The written messages provide the necessary information for decision making purposes. So this thing is important, that whenever you make decision, so you can take help from the previous record, a previous written record, which can help you in making your decision. So this was all about the importance and purpose of writing. Now I will talk about different types of writing. We come across many types of writing when we read something. There are four main types of writing. The first is descriptive, the second is narrative, the third is expository, and the fourth is argumentative. Now I will discuss all these four types of writing one by one in coming slides. Now I will talk about descriptive writing. In descriptive writing, we describe a thing, place, or an event. Now, what is the process of description? This is a handy enough definition, but the progress is so simple that one needs not to start with a definition. We are constantly describing things. Even the baby in its inarticulate speech tries to describe the objects around the court. The second is the art of description. But there is a process of description, and there is, as distinguished from it, the art of description. The process is common enough, but the art, as a deliberate effort for producing some desired effect, is not so commonplace. When we describe ordinarily, we describe casually in an haphazard way. The art of description has to be learned. The third is methods of description. There are two methods of description. We may call them enumerative and suggestive. In the former case, we describe detail by detail, fully and in an ordinary manner, including everything that is relevant. In the latter case, we try to suggest images and pictures by means of epithets charged with associations in entire passages. It is, however, more suited to poetry than to prose. So this was all about descriptive writing, and this was all about the process of descriptive writing, the art of descriptive writing, and the methods of descriptive writing. Now I will talk about techniques of description. We may describe a thing by the following methods. The first is observation and collection of material. If there is an object before you, observe all its features carefully. In other cases, try to imagine what the object looks like and hold it before your mind's eye in clear and vivid outline. Unless you develop the faculty and of observation, you will not be able to collect sufficient material of your description. We miss many interesting features of those objects which we see every day because we do not see them carefully. All great descriptive writers had the seeing eye. So this thing is important, that whenever you write something, you need to observe that thing carefully, and by observation try to collect material. The second technique is selection. The power of observation, if carefully cultivated, enables the student to gather his material, but he cannot describe everything that he sees or imagines. He has to choose the more salient features, otherwise his description will be too long and flat. Selection is more artistic process. Vivid and significant details are to be chosen. For all the details observed are not characteristics of the object observed. So it means that after observation, so what to write, what not to write, this comes in selection. So you need to be very, very meticulous about your selection. The third technique of description is arrangement. After gathering the details, we should arrange it in a proper order. It means that there should be proper sequence. Their simplest method may be, as writer says, to go from position to position, from head to foot, or from foot to head, from west to east, and from east to west. So sequence is very important, that after observation, go for selection. After selection, that what would be the sequence, what would be the arrangement of the ideas which you have collected through observation. The fourth technique is the language. Some care should be taken about language of description. The words used should be vivid, not vague and colorless. There is something called word painting. It is nothing but vivid description. Precision in the use of words is needed in order to make the description accurate and clear. At times, apt comparisons, similes, illustrative examples are used to enhance the appeal of descriptive passages. Unless one can choose apt similes and illustrations, one cannot make one's writing active and careful. So qualities of a good, so this thing is important, that whenever you write, you need to be careful about the language which you use for your writings. So after observation, after selection, after arrangement, language is also very important because it beautifies your writing. Now I will talk about qualities of good description. A good description must have these qualities. First, fullness. A good description is full of description. A description which leaves out important features of an object cannot be praised, however attractive it may be. Even when one is asked to write a brief description, one can make it a full one by describing all the important features and leaving out the unimportant ones. The second is vividness. A good description must be vivid one. It must be attractive, graphic, and colorful. The third quality of good description is arrangement. A good description is not just a heap of unsorted details, but an orderly whole. Without arrangement, there can be no good description. Arrangement is essential for every type of the description. The last quality of good description is purity. We should not mix up narrative or dramatic motives with description, nor should we introduce ideas which have no bearing on the subject described. Feelings, as we have already said, are not always out of place in description. So, dear students, in this lecture, I have discussed writing skills, techniques of writing, qualities of good writing, and also in types of writing, I talked about descriptive writing. In coming lecture, I will talk about other kinds of writing. I hope that you have got the concept. Thank you.